Welcome to episode 61 of our National Assessment Review series. In today's session, we shift our focus to a very crucial skill for every aspiring school head: analyzing assumptions and making inferences from statistical data. As school leaders, we are constantly presented with figures, charts, and test results. But numbers alone do not speak. It is our role to interpret them wisely, uncover the story behind the data, and make sound decisions that truly impact learning outcomes. In this episode, we'll practice going beyond the surface of percentages and correlations. We'll examine how to identify the assumptions behind the statistics, how to make valid inferences, and how to avoid common pitfalls in interpretation. Remember, in the NQESH, it's not just about knowing the numbers. It's about showing how those numbers guide action, leadership, and policy. So, let's get ready to sharpen our analytical thinking and apply it directly to real-life school data scenarios. Item 1. Take a look at the table. As a school head analyzing the overall reading profile of learners in grades 1 to 3 for strategic reading intervention planning, which of the following best reflects the overall picture of learner performance in the region? A. The majority of learners are already grade-level proficient in reading. B. Most learners are in the developing and transitioning stages, showing readiness for light enrichment. C. A large proportion of learners remain in the early stages of reading development, necessitating intensive foundational literacy support. D. Learners are generally consistent across all reading levels, showing balanced progress. What do you think is the correct answer? Correct answer, C. Rationalization. C is correct. 41.9% of learners, 32.95% low emerging plus 8.95% high emerging, are in the early stages of reading, indicating a critical need for early grade literacy interventions. A is incorrect. Only 14.59% are grade ready, not a majority. B is inaccurate. Developing, 12.42%, plus transitioning, 31.11%, make up 43.53%, but that doesn't outweigh those still emerging. D is misleading. The data shows a clear concentration in the lower spectrum, emerging plus transitioning. Item number 2. Given the CRLA data for grade 3 at Malagaya Elementary School, what can be reasonably inferred about the correlation between learners' placement in the transitioning and grade-ready levels and their reading comprehension performance? A. Reading comprehension is high because most learners are already fluent at the grade-ready level. B. Despite strong fluency, the low comprehension score shows that most learners are not in the emerging reader category. C. The reading comprehension score aligns closely with learners in the low emerging group, explaining the low word per minute average. D. The high percentage of learners in the transitioning and grade-ready categories is consistent with the mid-range comprehension average, suggesting fluency may not yet fully translate into deep understanding. Correct answer, D. Rationalization. D is correct. 69.69% of learners, 46.98% plus 22.71%, are at transitioning and grade ready, which reflects decent decoding and fluency, 73.36 score. Yet the comprehension score is just 49.25, suggesting a disconnect between fluency and full comprehension. A is incorrect. While 22.71% are grade ready, the comprehension score is not high. It's moderate. B is misleading. Most learners are not in the emerging category. The majority are above that. C is false. The low emerging group is a minority, 17.14%, and comprehension is not as low as that would suggest. We shall now proceed to item number 3. Here is the table. The chart shows the reading levels of grade 2 learners in Language 2, Filipino. Data reveals that 27.9% are low emerging readers, 4.79% are high emerging readers, 14.58% are developing readers, 37.26% are transitioning readers, and only 15.48% are reading at grade level. As a school head, which most strategic intervention aligns with DEEP's Every Child a Reader program, a CARP, and the MATATAG K-10 curriculum, given that the largest group of learners, 37.26%, are still transitioning readers while a significant portion, 27.9%, remain low emerging readers? A. Prioritize enrichment activities for the 15.48% of learners already reading at grade level to sustain advanced performance and showcase best practices. B. Strengthen intensive reading remediation sessions for low emerging readers while simultaneously scaffolding transitioning readers toward mastery through differentiated instruction. C. Focus primarily on developing readers, 14.58%, since they are the middle group and can easily be pushed to grade-level reading proficiency. D. Defer reading interventions until learners reach higher grade levels, since language acquisition will naturally progress with exposure to content-based subjects. Answer key and rationalization. What do you think is the correct answer? The correct answer is letter B. Let's get its explanation. According to DEEP's CARP framework and reading remediation policies, the priority is to address struggling readers, low emerging readers, through intensive intervention, while also scaffolding learners in the transitioning stage, the largest group at 37.26%, to achieve grade-level standards. This ensures that interventions are both equity-driven, helping the lowest performing group, and efficiency-driven, supporting the largest cluster of learners nearing proficiency. Enrichment for those already at grade level, A, is important but not the most strategic priority. Focusing on the middle group alone, C, ignores equity, while deferring interventions, D, contradicts the mandate of early literacy foundations in grades 1 to 3. We move on to the next set of table. Item number 4. There is a significant relationship between study hours and academic performance of grade 5 learners in periodical examinations, as evidenced by a Pearson correlation coefficient of R equals 0.97 at 0.05 significance. A. Accept the null hypothesis. The correlation is weak and not statistically significant. B. Reject the null hypothesis. There is a significant positive relationship between the variables. C. Accept the alternative hypothesis. The correlation is negative and weak. D. Reject the alternative hypothesis. The test did not find any significant correlation. What do you think is the correct answer? The correct answer is letter B. Let's get its explanation. A Pearson correlation coefficient of R equals 0.97 indicates a very strong positive correlation between study hours and academic performance. Since the result is significant at the 0.05 level, we must reject the null hypothesis, which assumes no significant relationship, and accept that a statistically significant, strong, positive relationship exists. This means learners who dedicate more study hours tend to achieve higher academic performance. Options A and D are incorrect because they misinterpret the significance test. Option C is incorrect because the relationship is not negative nor weak. Item 5. Female grade 10 students performed significantly better in science compared to their male counterparts. A. The data presented is not sufficient to infer the statement. B. The statement is false based on the data presented. C. The statement is statistically supported and indicates a significant difference in performance. D. The statement may be true, but the result is not statistically significant. The correct answer is letter C. Rationalization. The assumption clearly states that female students performed significantly better, and this is supported by the data. A higher mean for females, 83.1 versus 78.5. A statistically significant t-test result, with p equals 0.001, which is below the common alpha level of 0.05. We move on to item 6. Which of the following assumptions is not supported by the data in Table 3? A. Students in online learning scored higher in good teaching, GT, than those in face-to-face. B. Face-to-face learners appreciated assessment, AA, more than online learners. C. Online learners demonstrated stronger general skills, GS, compared to F2F learners. D. Face-to-face learners perceived clearer learning goals, CG, than online learners. Correct answer, B. Rationalization. Option B is incorrect because online learners actually had a higher mean score in appreciation of assessment, AA equals 53.59, than F2F learners, AA equals 52.18. All other options are consistent with the descriptive data provided.